everybody, this is B, and we are with Our Life. I just loaded it up. Don't know anything about it. I don't know why it says tutorial. Welcome to Our Life, beginnings and always full tutorial. It goes over every gameplay aspect and how it works in detail. No. For the main menu, there are multiple ways to get into the game. Okay. I've made a mistake. I've realized my mistake. Menu. Yes. I'll just... Why did it say continue? I've never even played this. Welcome to Our Life, beginnings and always. There are always various ways you can customize and interact with the game. This tutorial is an overview of how certain features work. You can read the full tutorial from the main menu to learn about everything in detail. Start off, the game is divided into 3 time periods called steps. Step 1, childhood, Step 2, adolescence, and Step 3, teenaged. Our life is further divided into sets of vignettes that take place during specific periods of time. These are called moments. Moments can be played in any order or skipped entirely. You move on the next step whenever you want by selecting that summer ending. Steps 1 through 3 include 5 movements each, and even more can be unlocked by purchasing the DLCs. Some are out now and other DLCs will be released later on. A lot happens over the years that go by, especially in regard to the character you play as. You determine nearly everything about the main character: name, appearance, personality, pronouns, interests, skills, their relationship with major characters, and so on. You can decide to change the details as time goes on, with a few exceptions. Your last name, skin tone, and eye color can't be altered once set. Much of the MC's basic traits are determined on a character creation screen. As the MC grows up, more options become available on the screen. As mentioned, one of the decisions you'll get to make for your character is selecting a name. You can type any name you like, or you can pick a preset name. Presets options are called voice names because the name will be voiced aloud by the romantic lead. You'll get to hear him say your name as you play through the story. Only the default name, Jamie, is included in the base game. Hundreds more can be added, getting a free voice name expansion DLC. The full collection of the games is separated out as a DLC because of how large it is. If you're not interested in that feature, you don't need to get it. Each name in the DLC belongs to or was selected by someone who supported this project. On the character creation screen, there's a cute doll you can decorate to get an idea of what your MC looks like with different traits put together. Now all the things you decide about the MC appear on the doll. The script referencing what you decide for the MC is the main way those decisions influence the game. Our Life has a first-person perspective, so your character doesn't appear next to other characters' sprites. You only see the MC as the decorative doll and a special cut-in CG images. The cut-in CGs only appear if certain choices are made, if possible not to see any during the playthrough. There's also a second type of special MC-based screen, the interest comfort screen. Unless you get DLCs, the game has one love interest, Clove Holden. He grows up with the MC, and the interest comfort screen is crucial for determining how that plays out. Interest level sets how much you like them. There are 4 levels: disinterest, fond, crush, and love. Love is only available starting in step 3, if you were at fond or crush in step 2. Comfort determines how you generally think when it comes to them. There are 3 levels: nervous, relaxed, and direct. Your level of interest and comfort will set the type of dynamic your character has. With the love interest, what you did in the past will influence the present, and feelings can change over time. You get to pick your interest comfort near the beginning of every step. Step comfort can switch between the 3 levels as you please. Your interest level can only stay the same or increased. Your current level of interest will become the new lowest option on the screen in the future. For example, if you decide to be fond in Step 1, disinterest will not be available on the screen in Steps 2 and 3, which will make the fond button level option for your relationship. Interest level has an impact when it comes to physically interacting with Cove. While growing up, things are rather simple. If you get along with one another and have a close relationship, you can choose to touch him, and Cove will occasionally interact with the MC in a lighthearted or comforting ways. But starting at step 3, touching can become more romantic or suggestive if you have a crush or love. To make sure things go nicely with that, there would be an extra choice to determine initiative level, and a bonus mini tutorial that goes along with choice to explain the feature in more detail. Basically, even if you decide you like Cove, the game won't force you to act on those feelings. You can always choose not to get together with him, choose not to accept or give romantic gestures, etc. If you do decide to date Cove, though, you can't break up with him later. And you can't break up with him. Interest and comfort gets the basics down, but it's the choices that appear throughout the normal game events that decide what actually happens between the MC and Cove. And it isn't only the MC who's impacted by your decisions. Cove grows and changes over the years. How he's treated and what he experiences help shape who he becomes. Step 2 and 3, Cove's personality, appearance, and interest will vary based on what happened in the previous steps. And something of a mystery exactly how your decisions end up changing him. You can try to guess as you go along. Or if you prefer, you can also just design your own ideal Cove directly using the Cove Creator option that pops up at the beginning of steps 2 and 3. Making the choices you want is always more important than making a choice because you feel like you have to in order to get a certain result. When a choice does appear, usually you'll see hovering the cursor over an option shows a certain color, yellow, blue, or green. This is a lot. The colors aren't related to specific points or effects. They're only there to give a bit of insight on tone and motion of that choice, since text alone can potentially be read in more than one way. Blue tends to be casual, straightforward, yellow more emotive, reactive, and green less certain, uncommitted. Though there are hundreds of options in our life, and not every choice menu falls in line with that pattern, picking just one color every time doesn't give a gameplay benefit. Only stick to certain types if that's what you happen to like, otherwise switch between them freely. Always pick yellow, never pick yellow, pursue romance right from the start, never romance the love interest, be disagreeable or amiable, none of them will lead to a bad ending. You're welcome to enjoy the events and shape the story without reservation. And then if you like, you can play again to try something new. There's only ever more good content to discover. We hope you have a nice time with our life. Thank you for playing. Ooh. Okay, well, I'm chubby. Brown. I'm probably peachy. Okay. I got some big eyes, not gonna lie. So that round one's probably the best. We have, oh, I love the yellow, but we have blue eyes. Whoa. We have blue eyes. I really don't want to be Jamie, but you know what? It doesn't matter. We don't have to hear them talk. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna, we don't have any, custom, like, this shows you what you can get. With the voice names, we don't have any. We didn't buy any DLCs either. And we didn't support them, unfortunately. I wish we had. Okay. Ooh, look at that. We get to, like... Okay, this is pretty cool, because you get to do all kinds of stuff here. We're gonna do what I look like. Which... long... Okay, kinda... No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, let's... Okay, but... I'm gonna take forever I'm so sorry. There's so much customization that you can do. It's crazy. Okay. Wow. Wow. There's just so much going on right here. We're gonna go with this, because my hair right now is kind of medium. Okay. Oh god. This is so cool. Like, you can add so much to yourself. Wait, hand size. Wait, can I see my hand? Okay, but my eyes are too big. We're not gonna go with glasses because my eyes are way too big. And I feel like it kind of messes up me. Okay, arm. Oh, those are freckles, pants, clothing types. Okay, what do I use? Usually, I wear shirts, dresses, and pants. I don't. Sometimes I wear hats. Okay. We're done. Summer in Sunset Bird was a special time of the year. Your usually sleepy town began to bustle. It was a popular tourist destination with people coming from all over to enjoy the beach and the weather and the relaxation that came with both. The smell of the ocean, crisp and salty, hung in the air, bringing 3 whole months of schoolless vacation with it. During the summer, your moms didn't like you. We have 2 moms. Interesting. That's cool. Your moms didn't like you to wander too far outside of your neighborhood, so you knew the area pretty well. That included the people. Families came and went from Sunset Bird, but they mostly stayed and did what your mom called putting down roots. They built businesses, they got to know each other, and they definitely said hello to the nice young kids who waved them passing their store. Going for a walk around town mostly meant that the familiar, friendly residents waved or asked how your family was, or most often just said hello. You didn't really get why they always had to say hi. They saw you every day, but you nodded back at them. You ended up saying hi to a lot of different people, since most of the tourists that came and went every summer were the same ones. You were too anxious to say hi back to most of the other residents that greeted you, but they all knew you were well enough to expect that. I'm gonna say this is probably me. It was a polite thing to do, after all, and your mom had taught you to always be respectful. But today, there was a man sitting on the curb outside your house. He was sitting with his head in his hands, his whole body slumped over, and you wondered if he was even a real person, or a statue that had magically sprung up from the ground overnight. Whoever or whatever he was, you had never seen him before. One thing about knowing everyone in Sunset Bird was that people who you didn't recognize really stood out. It was rare for a tourist to venture into the residential district, as your mom calls it. So for you, not knowing who a total stranger was set off a lot of red flags. Your moms had a talk with you and your big sister, Lizzie, about this kind of situation. You hadn't exactly been listening at the time. You think it could be okay to talk to new people. They mentioned that some people aren't good to talk to, but other types of people who can help you even if you don't know them, You remember that it's okay to run away if you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to worry about being polite then. Okay, so we're young at this time. So I should have been, if we're gonna base it off of me in general, I would have been talking to everybody. So we're gonna go talk. But you weren't sure about this man yet. Still, you felt a bit scared knowing that he was blocking the way to your front door. But you were pretty interested. You wanted to know more about what was going on. We're interested. You slowed down, your eyes remaining fixed on the man. There was a split second where your eyes met, and you knew he was aware he wasn't alone on the street anymore. Hey! You raised your eyebrows at the shout. Did he want something? Is that why he was here? The man stood up and started making his way towards you. Not wanting to seem to be too approachable, you folded your arms and stared. Still unsure about him, but willing to be friendly, you offered the stranger a smile. Your whole body froze in place as he approached. We're gonna be friendly. The man gives a grin of his own back. Do you live around here? What's your name? You looked the man up and down, taking his tanned skin and relaxed appearance. At least his clothes were relaxed. The way he was acting wasn't. He had sharks on his shorts and a stingray tattoo, and you wondered if he was obsessed with the ocean or something. While you made your assessment, he looked at you expectantly, waiting for an answer to his question. Yeah, I live here. I want to say... You know what? As a child, I would have answered this because I told everybody everything. I was way too friendly. Great, nice to meet you, B. He gave you a broad smile, a relief settling on his face. Why are you giving me money? He reached into his pocket and pulled out a clean $20 bill. It was crinkled in his hand as he held it up to you. Even more confused than before, you looked back at him. Well, could you do me a favor? Nothing bad. Sorry, I should have... Let me start over. He cleared his throat and stood up straighter. From where you were standing, it just made him look creepier. I have a son. His name is Cove, who's about your age. You chewed on the inside of your cheek. This guy was definitely obsessed with water. You thought that was pretty cool. You've never met anyone with that name. We've moved in across the street, see? He gestured towards the house that had been empty for a year, his watch catching the late afternoon sunlight and reflecting off the walls. The gigantic for sale sign was finally gone. You must be Beehive, right? I met your moms earlier and they told me you were 8, just like him, so... Yeah, so I'm answering how I would have when I was 8 years old. Like, I literally was so friendly, it wasn't even funny. Like, I didn't know such a thing as, like... I knew not to go with strangers, but I was also very talkative. He shook the $20 bill to bring it back to your attention, a hopeful smile tilting his lips at the corners. Can you try to be friends with the boy? Just give it a chance, and you can keep this. He's a good kid. You'll like him.
Do you mind?
But you gotta keep it a secret too, okay? It wouldn't be friendly to say his dad sent you. You eyed the man. You kind of felt sorry for Cove. Did other kids really get their parents to pay for their friendships? This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that. What do you say? Want to make a deal? Took the deal. You didn't want the money. I'm afraid he won't be my friend if I... We're not gonna take the money. I don't want to be paid for that. It's too weird. He deflated enough to notice, but not completely.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? It won't be so bad. Even if it's just for the summer, that'd be enough. That only made this sound more strange to you. Why does it lasting for the summer matter? When it was clear his initial strategy wasn't going to fly, he tucked the bill into the back pocket and changed the request. I get it, you don't have to. Would you be more comfortable with he and I coming by for a normal visit? No money involved. Ah, okay, you can do that. I guess you have to ask my mom's. You didn't answer the man. I'm gonna say, yeah, I want to meet him. His smile got bigger again. His eyes crinkled at the sides. I'll bring him by tomorrow. I wanted him to meet and greet with the neighbors today, but... well, I don't know where he's gone off to. He laughed when he said that, but with the way his face looked, you thought he actually wanted to cry. If you see him, can you tell him to come on home? He's got a pink cast and glasses. You can't miss him. Sure thing. This definitely wasn't the normal way kids made friends. You knew that, but you were still going to help. The man smiled and reached out to pat you on the head, paused before doing so, then pulled his hand away instead. Your moms are already checking around for me. Such a thoughtful group you are. Now I better go look too. Can't put everyone else to work while I keep sitting here. I thought he might come back, and that's not what's important. I have to go. Thanks again, B, so much. He jogged off down the street without another word. You decided to check the hills behind your house. Are we going to meet him? Step 1, first sight. The chirping of the crickets in the tall grass greeted you, quite familiar. From the top of the hill you could see the ocean, and as you walked, you listened to the crash of the waves on the shore and the seagulls squawking as they settled down for the night. You always loved the ocean. It was so much fun. You loved to hear stories about the sea, about the merfolk and sea serpents you imagined living far beneath the waves. Ooh, that's definitely not it. I'm gonna go with you loved the stories. Sometimes you could almost convince yourself you had seen the flash of a shiny mermaid tail in the distance. You took in a deep breath. You wanted to try to relax and you couldn't. You weren't sure what, but something told you that you weren't alone, so you glanced around. Aw, you look sad. There was a boy sitting at the top of one hill, almost completely hidden within the long grass and white flowers surrounding him. His head was buried in his knees, staring ahead by himself. For whatever reason, probably just that he wasn't paying attention, he hadn't noticed you yet. You watched him a minute longer, feeling a little bit like you found a deer in the wild. Though the deer didn't have... Wait, what was that? The deer didn't have? Sad frowns? But this new boy did. You wondered what could have upset him. After a few more seconds, you took a step forward, then another. And then he glanced your way. His aquamarine eyes reflected the light of the moon. You stopped, raising a hand to acknowledge him and show you weren't scary. Hey, Space Cadet, are you lost or hi? With a start, he jumped to his feet, his hands balling into fists at his sides. Oh god, please tell me I didn't upset him. He didn't say anything, just stared at you in a strange way. Oh god, he'd been crying. No, I didn't mean to upset him. There were traces of tears on his cheeks and his knees, soaking the hem of his shorts. His eyes were still shining with a few more. You obviously caught him off guard. His pink cast seemed to glow in the twilight, though when he caught you staring at it, he hid his arm behind his back. Something the man earlier had said struck out to you. Cove? Ah, eyes wide, he studied you. How do you know that? Lucky guess, I'm all-knowing, I met your dad. I'm gonna say I'm all-knowing. That's a lie, tell the oh. Okay, your dad told me who you were. Oh. So, is this your hill? He gestured with his uninjured arm to the patch of grass surrounding you, his face falling at the prospect. I can leave if it is. You can't own a hill. I'm not gonna say yep. You can't own a hill. Why not? How could you? You just do. I had a hill back home. Well, this still isn't mine. Oh. He sat back down with a thump, resting his chin on his knees again. Curious about the strange new boy with the odd dad, you sat on the patch of grass next to him. The pure white flowers that covered this hill rocked back and forth gently as the stars twinkled above. The way they dotted the sky made them look like flowers too. The night wind was so cold, and as if it traveled over the ocean and up the hill, chasing away the heat from the afternoon sun. Why are you here? Or why did your movie? Why did your family move here? Why are you here? A quiet hiccup escaped Cove as soon as you asked the question. Almost like they never stopped, his tears started up again with vengeance. My parents. They don't want to live together with me anymore. The tears fell fast and heavy over his flushed cheeks, sticking to his dark lashes. My mom made my dad leave, and he took me with him, and now we have a house here, and I want to go home. The outburst took you off guard. By the time he was done wailing, Cove's chest was heaving with exhaustion. He sniffled and removed his glasses, wiping at his eyes with the back of his hand before he put them back on again. I hate this place. I want my real life back. I want my mom. You'll like it here. You just gotta get used to it. There's no guarantee. This probably won't help. This definitely won't help. I'm gonna say I'm sorry. He slipped his hands underneath his glasses and pressed his fingers against his eyelids. Cove wound himself up again for another long crying fit. You felt bad for him, being forced to come here with no choice. You couldn't imagine what it would feel like to live with only one of your moms, but it must be pretty hard. But, from the way off in the distance, you heard your parents. B! Cove! Kids, where did you go? Cove looked at you, tears still clinging to his cheeks. Don't tell them we're here.
I want to go home.
I don't want to go back to that house. I want to go home. I don't know what to say to him. This is hard. I feel like I'm gonna screw up every move I take. I'm not gonna say sorry, I have to. You can handle it. And even if you can't, he's your dad, right? Yeah, he is. Dusting the grass off of your pants, you stood up. So you didn't come here by yourself, or with a stranger. He's gotta take care of you no matter what. Slowly, Cove stood up with you, still looking a little reluctant. His dad's voice rang out again. Cove, can you hear me? He looked towards the sound of his dad's voice, silent, then turned away, rubbing his not bandaged arm. Sorry, I still don't want to go. We're gonna sit with him. Yeah, I get it. You do? Before you could answer, you heard Cove's dad, even closer than before. There you are, bud. The trio of parents appeared over the curve of the hill. Instantly, all their eyes landed on you, and they rushed over. Oh, look at our moms. Both of your moms were at your side in a split second, faces filled with worry. B, you're here after all. We had been at the park to check for you for Cove. Uh-oh. That's the timer. So, let me finish our mommy's conversation. We've had been at the park to check for Cove, and then we heard what happened earlier when you met the new neighbor. I thought you might have gone off further. Away. Okay. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to end the video here. This is really cool. I did not buy anything, and now I'm regretting it, because this game seems really fun. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!